what we're going to talk about is the simplicity of the recruiting process. And, we hear that term quite a bit, but, the recruiting process isn't real simple if you don't know the steps in it. And that's the real key, is learning the steps that work for you, because the recruiting process is a multifaceted process. It isn't I pick up the phone, call you today, and tomorrow you're in Live Good in a Crown Diamond. It's what we call the success cycle, and everybody uses it in some form or another. The goal is it's very simple, and if we stay focused on this, it's helping people get healthy and stay healthy without spending a fortune to do it. And if we do the simple steps of the recruiting process, to also make a fortune while we do it. So we don't have to spend a fortune, but there is an opportunity to make a fortune. Understanding what our business model is, and our speakers today will talk about that. And so the question is, who are your prospective customers? Well, is it only individuals who need or take supplements? 92% of Americans are deficient in some type of vitamin. 92%. That's a national statistic. So folks, that's everybody you talk to, but that's not who our customers are. Who are our customers? Well, it's everyone. It's every single person out there. So you say, oh my, Dwayne, how am I going to reach everyone? Well, the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So what I want us to talk about is this success cycle and understanding the steps of it. And that's what our speakers are going to talk about today, is how they take these steps to move people through the process to bring them on board. And with that, I'm going to stop the screen share, and I'm going to turn this over to Darlene. Darlene, I'm going to give the floor to you, because you have a real unique approach. Last time we were on here, you were talking about Alignable and LinkedIn, and your goal of what you required from yourself every single day before you went to bed. So I'm turning it over to you.
All right, thanks, Dwayne. Am I going to be able to share my screen here with everybody?
Yep, give me just a minute, and I should have done that when you first came on board, and now you have got screen share.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, thanks for having me here. I'm always so honored to be able to share what I'm doing and what Mick and I are doing. So excited all the time. Live Good is in us. As you can tell, we're always so excited when we come on here and share. And I'm going to share my screen so I can show you guys exactly what we do to get prospects. And then Mick is going to come on afterwards and share with you guys when they do come in and what we send them and how we get them plugged in. But the first thing before I share my screen is I want to make sure that everybody is looking towards a goal, right? Because if we're just going to keep prospecting people and not really have a goal, how are you going to measure it? How do you know if you're actually making progress, if you're stepping back, if you're kind of staying kind of status quo? And so you always want to do better every single day. So you guys heard me talk about that and the first time that I was invited to come in and speak. And yes, I had a goal of 100 people a day that I was reaching out to. I've actually increased that to 150. But the bigger goal before that was, how many members / affiliates did Mick and I want to bring in to Live Good? What was our first big goal? And our first big goal is 100 personals. And so right now, I think we have like 61 or 62 personals. So we're on our way. We're on our way there. And how are we doing that? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. And I'm just going to show you first. Where is my? I don't see it. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing here. Okay, so. Here we go. Okay, I'm showing you my back office really, or showing you our back office really quick. Can you guys see that?
Got it.
Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, so this is how we measure. This is how we measure if what we're doing is productive, if we need to change up what we're doing, whether it be our messaging or how many people we're reaching out to, are we following up enough, all of these different things. And so we always like to look at our statistics to kind of keep us on track. Let me just move you guys out of the way here. So we have a goal again of 100 personals. And then once we reach our 100, then we're going to have a new goal after that. we measure this by looking at our statistics, and Mick looks at this a lot more than I do, but I do get excited when I look at this stuff. I'm really more kind of head down and just kind of plowing through my numbers. But our goal really on a daily basis is to have at least a pre-enrollee or an upgrade, one or the other. Now, do we make that goal every single day? No, we don't. You guys can see that here on Saturday, July 29th, we got 0 and 0, right? So what was different on this day versus other days? Well, Mick and I actually took a little bit of time off and spent time with family, went to a party and did things. And so, you know, sometimes you have to make that decision, right? To step away, take care of yourself, make time outside of Live Good, because that is important also to fill your cup, right? So you don't get burnt out. So that was okay, right? We're not really too concerned about those numbers because we know what we did that was different than any other day. But for the most part, we always want to see these numbers here have something other than a 0. So either on this side or on this side or on both sides would be really great. Mick likes to look a lot at the website hits. I'm not too focused too much on that, but it's still a good measurement because you can see like sometimes our numbers were down, sometimes they're up. Like there was one day I think he looked and he's like, wow, that was our biggest day yet. I don't remember what day. It was like 100 and I don't know, something. So that was really cool. So this is how we measure, okay? Let me now show you guys exactly what I do. So I need to actually stop this share for a second so I can show you guys my spreadsheet. And this is where I begin. So to start me off, I use Excel spreadsheet. Mick uses a different format. I think he uses Notes, which is not Notes, Numbers, which is the comparable on Apple. But because I reach out to so many people a day, I have to break mine for me. This is what works for me. I have to break it down by day because there's so many people on my list that I'm reaching out to, right? So it's important for me to have these daily numbers that I'm plugging in. So when I reach out to someone, I put it in a spreadsheet, I put their name, and then you can see like here, the highlights mean that they actually said, yes, send me the link. So I highlight it and I put the day that I actually sent them the link. Then I have a follow-up tab. So my follow-up tab is really all the people that I've been dripping on since they sent me their link. So you can see here, like I've reached out to these guys here, like the top people, June 2nd, right? I reached out to this guy and then I did a follow-up on June 6th, and then I did another one on June 21st, and then another one on July 6th, and then another one on July 18th. And I'm getting ready to drip on him again, probably either today or tomorrow. So I kind of do this and go through the numbers. And when I was talking to our team members, I was telling them, don't feel demotivated or give up when someone doesn't say anything or get back to you the first time around. It took Paul Richards 5 or 6 times before Mick and I said yes, right? So people get busy, they say, yes, I'm gonna get back to you, and then they forget, life gets in the way. They did watch the video, but then they just forgot to respond. So there's a lot of different reasons why people don't get back to you right away. And until they absolutely say, no, thank you, Darlene, this isn't for me, I'm gonna keep dripping on them. I'm gonna be giving them updates. I'm gonna be sending them scripts once a week or every 2 weeks, or just depending, right, on my follow-ups. Like I have a ton of people on my follow-up list. So I use Excel spreadsheet as my way to keep track and measure my own personal goals and keeping track of the people that I'm reaching out to, right? They always say network marketing fortune is in follow-up. And I never really did that in my previous companies. And now that I'm doing that with Live Good, I am producing so much better results than I ever did in my previous company. So that's what I do. Now I want to show you guys, I just stopped my share again, so I'm going to go back to the internet. I'm going to show you what I do both on Facebook and on LinkedIn so that you can see what I do. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 different examples here of people that I've reached out to. So this first one, my friend Bree, I reached out to her. This was my first initial message to her back on June 26th. Hi, Bree, I miss you. But the text, the copy and paste starts here. I hope this message finds you well. You may have seen my recent posts on my latest project. There's a company that is disrupting not only the health and wellness industry, but also e-commerce, and we're only just getting started. Think Amazon on steroids, right? So that's kind of like my excitement there. Whether you decide to join me as a customer or a business partner or neither, that's fine. My conscience is clear now that I've shared it. That is the posture behind the message, right? One of the leaders had said, don't get attached to the prospect, get attached to the process, right? So I never get attached to the prospect. It's whatever they say, right? Then if I sent you a 5-minute video that explains it in detail, would you review it? That's the invitation. Remember, Mick and I always say that we are not just going to send them our link. We have to ask their invitation. You know, when you ask a question to someone, it begs for an answer, right? A yes or no. But when you just throw in the link, and I did that in the beginning, I was ghosted a lot of times. So asking them permission really gives them an opportunity to say, hey, why not? You know, why not check it out? If afterwards the timing is off or you have no interest, that's fine. I look forward to your response either way. Be safe, Darlene. And so she didn't get back to me for a while, guys. Look, this is just yesterday. She says, hi, Dar, please send me the video. Sorry, late response, right? So it took her a while. And then I finally sent her my scripted response, right? The no worries is just kind of my personal thing. And then this is where I do the copy and paste. Awesome. Here's the link to the 5-minute video. Once you've watched it, complete the form beside the video to lock in a free position while you decide if it's for you or not. Just copy and paste. And, you know, Mick always says this. You have to give them instructions on what to do, because if you just send them the link, they're not going to know what to do and they may not do anything, right? So we're giving them specific this is a very, very lively chat there. Very specific instructions. Watch the video, fill out the form beside it to lock in your free position while you decide if it's for you, if it's for you or not. Again, no attachment to what they decide. Here's another one where I had to drip on her a couple of times. Oh, sorry. Nope, that's not the one. Here it is. You may have seen, same thing. I've sent her the same exact message. You may have seen my recent posts on my latest project, same thing that I sent to Bree. And then Barb says to me, I think she responded right away. Yes, please send. I could watch it after 24 hours en route traveling. So I sent it to her. Awesome. Same copy and paste message, right? And then Barb, she didn't respond right away. So I sent her another message. Hey, not sure if you had a chance to watch the 5-minute video, blah, 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 blah. That is, again, a scripted message, you guys. And then she pre-enrolls. So this is what happens when they pre-enroll. We get a hold of them right away. Hey, Barb, congratulations. I see you pre-enrolled. We sent you an email explaining next steps should you choose to join us. Again, not attached to the outcome. If you don't see it in your primary box, please check your spam folder. A lot of times we realize that people's, our messages are going into people's spam folder. And so they're not seeing our messages. And so we always need to remind them, hey, check your spam folder if you didn't get it in your primary, in your primary folder. And then I say, let me know if you have any questions, Star. So she's a pre-enrollee right now. She has not enrolled yet, but we do have a mechanism of dripping on them. And Mick will talk about that process with you guys. And then the last one I want to share with you real quick is just LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn, I love LinkedIn. I think that it's such a different platform than Facebook. It's a business, a social media platform, or so people are always looking for business opportunities, but they're also looking for value, right? What kind of value can you give me on LinkedIn? So it's not really a salesy type of platform. So you have to be careful with sharing your link on LinkedIn. But people do respond so much better in direct messaging on LinkedIn than they do on Facebook. At least that's what I have noticed for myself. So with LinkedIn, Mick and I use like some very specific ways to reach out to people because we have huge networks on LinkedIn. And so like this guy, I niched it down to, I want to reach out to people in India. So you could literally go in and filter out, and this is a free LinkedIn account. I don't have I don't have one of those premium accounts. I just have a free account, and you could still do the filters on here. So I filtered it out to India, and then you can even filter out to what do they like to talk about. So I put network marketing, leadership, sales, marketing. You can put whatever kind of words you want in there, and then it'll filter it out. So this is the scripted message that Mick came up with. I'm reaching out because I'm looking for a few smart leaders with a go-getter mentality and an entrepreneurial spirit to expand the opportunity in India. And I'm part of a company that is just 7 months old and exploding globally. Think Amazon on steroids. Mick likes that line, and it works for us, right? People actually go, huh, Amazon on steroids. That strikes curiosity. If I send you a quick 5-minute video, would you watch it with no obligation to see if there's a fit? Again, asking permission to send the video. And once they say yes, like he said, okay, send me, same scripted message, awesome, here's the link, and telling him exactly what to do. Has he responded? He hasn't. And so I have been dripping on him, sent him another message here. And I think that was it. So that is basically what I do. And Mick is pretty similar in reaching out to people as well. Whether again, it's Facebook or LinkedIn. I've already reached out to everybody on my phone. So those are kind of different messages because they're a little bit more personal. So I'm going to stop my share. And then Mick is going to talk about what happens when we get a pre-enrollee, and then also when they turn into members and affiliates and how we get them plugged in. So I'm going to turn off my...
Before we jump over, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Y'all just watch perfection at work there. You're talking about prospecting on steroids, doing everything exactly proper. That was so great, Darlene. A couple of questions for the people listening. I'm assuming all of those postings you do, you've already written up and you have them saved somewhere. You're highlighting and copying and pasting. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You're not hand typing every day.
Heck no.
Listen to what I just told you, folks. Everything she just showed you, they've already prepared so they can move through this very quickly. And you can use the same information on LinkedIn, Facebook, and I'm hopefully Mick's going to talk about TikTok. You know, if you've seen, my daughter just signed me up on TikTok. I don't know how to use it yet, but boy, if you see Mick on TikTok, you understand he is preaching what he believes, health and wellness. Those pictures on TikTok, he's proven to people he believes it. Darlene, that was great. I tell you what, I'm going to be inundated with calls for your scripts when this is over, but we'll have the video up on our training site. Thank you so much for sharing with us today.